So anyway, today we're going to be talking about smart home setup. Table of contents. First, we'll be talking about what a smart home is, then getting started with smart devices, then different smart home options, and finally controlling and automating your smart home. So what is a smart home? A smart home is a living space, basically a place that uses internet-connected devices to automate and control everyday tasks. This can include something like a smart speaker, it's connected to the internet. You can automate tasks. Maybe every morning the speaker will give you an alarm. It could include like smart bulbs, like behind me. I don't have smart bulbs, but you could put some smart bulbs in, and maybe they'll automatically dim or get brighter. There's a lot of things that you can make smart in the home. So that's what a smart home is. The home that you get, that's not the thing that's smart. It's the objects and the tools that you put in it and you use, those are the smart part of the home. Now, these devices can manage lighting, temperature, entertainment, and more using apps or by voice commands. The goal is to increase comfort, efficiency, and convenience. Even basic devices, even pretty much like cheap devices, budget devices, can help make daily routines easier. A really interesting example I was actually thinking of is like smart blinds. I don't know if you guys have heard of or seen smart blinds, but smart blinds are like they're basically blinds that in the morning, like they're connected to your smart bed, and then when you wake up, when it notices you wake up, the blinds will automatically open or something. It's very interesting. I know you should just like get up and open the blinds yourself, but it is a very interesting concept how these devices are all connected. You can have a smart bed, and then when it notices you wake up, the blinds will open. It's a very interesting concept
That's
to me.
making you lazy.
Yeah, that's true.
What?
I was thinking the same thing. Like blinds are like right next to you, and like yeah,
Like the George Jetson smart bed that instead of alarm, it just turns over and throws you out of bed for all you old people. Yeah.
I've heard of that.
By,
Yeah,
by
I've
the
heard of
way,
something similar, like a meme, I think.
it's not exactly true that there is smart blinds and smart this, smart that. All of these devices are stupid. What is smart is the program that controls
Yeah,
them. So there is no such thing as smart, whatever, a smart coffee maker,
yeah,
for instance. There isn't such thing.
yeah, that's totally right. Everything is controlled by a set of program. Computers are dumb unless we tell it to do something and it follows a set of instructions to do that. So Gabriel is completely right. Um, So some benefits of a smart home. Smart home technology can simplify daily life by automating tasks like turning off lights, adjusting the thermostat. It can also improve home security and reduce energy usage. Energy usage is a big aspect of what a smart home is designed to do. It can reduce energy usage. Maybe it realizes that you're not in the room. I don't know if this is exactly how it works, but it might notice you're not in the room and turn the lights off, or maybe it'll automatically turn it off at a certain time or a certain moment. You can have different stimuli, like I like to call it. You can have different conditions that control the lights to turn on or off. And that's true for pretty much anything in a smart home. Devices like these can often be accessed remotely using a phone or tablet. And these features make smart homes helpful and accessible for many people. So, in summary, they can automate basic tasks, boost home security, control devices remotely, and save energy and time. So, here are some common smart home devices. We've already talked about some of these, but these are a few more. So, popular smart devices include smart bulbs, plugs, thermostats, cameras, and speakers. Now, these tools are designed for easy setup and everyday use. Many of them can just be controlled from the same app or voice assistant. Starting with one or just two devices is a great way to get familiar with smart home tech. For example, the only smart home device we actually have in our house is smart bulbs. So I have one in my room. You can control it using an app. So you can turn the lights on and off. I do also have like an LED strip going around my room. So that's also smart. You can control it with this remote over here that I have. I don't know if you guys can see it, but so anyway, you can control that. That's technically smart as well. You don't have to go and manually like on and off plug. Sometimes it'll automatically do it for you if you set it up in the app. So these are all examples of smart devices. For people who are just starting out with a smart home, I'd recommend getting, I think bulbs are the easiest probably to set up, just because you just screw in the bulb, download the app, connect it via whatever you connect with. And then I think that's the easiest and really most straightforward to understand. So I would say that it's ideal to start with basic options, like I said. So now let's talk about getting started with smart devices. What happens if you decide what smart device you want, but you need to get help setting it up? Choose beginner-friendly devices. Beginner-friendly smart devices are easy to set up and don't require any advanced technology. Smart bulbs, like I said, smart plugs that I have as well, are good examples because they work with most phones and Wi-Fi networks. It's also important to check if they're compatible with the popular voice assistants. Choosing reliable and affordable brands can make setup smoother. So you have a voice assistant on your phone. That is either going to be Google Assistant, Bixby. I don't think Bixby is that relevant nowadays, but Google Assistant or Siri. Siri if you have an iPhone, Google Assistant if you have any Android phone, pretty much. Bixby is Samsung's assistant, but you can just switch over to Google Assistant. I think that's easier. So these are the two main assistants that you use. And you can also have an Alexa, which is another assistant, but that's not related to your phone. So if you plan to use these, if you plan to use smart home devices, make sure before you buy it that the smart home device you're purchasing is compatible with the voice assistant that you're trying to use. Choosing reliable and affordable brands can make setup much smoother. Again, start with bulbs and plugs. Check device compatibility. Check compatibility with your Wi-Fi network. Most likely it should be compatible. Especially check compatibility with the voice assistant. Like I don't want to buy something that's only Siri enabled because I'm on a Google phone, so I'm using Google Assistant. So that's a very important point to consider. Most smart devices, generally speaking, they are compatible with both Google Assistant, Siri, even other assistants like Alexa. But just make sure that you ensure that don't buy the wrong product. Also, choose reliable brands. Very important. You can get away with buying some of these from cheaper sites, I guess. Amazon released something called Amazon Haul. I don't know if you all saw it, but it's basically like a competitor's very cheap products. Again, you have like Alibaba, AliExpress, Temu, all of that. You can get away with some of these products from those places, but like maybe like smart bulbs. But generally, I would recommend sticking to Amazon and buying a reliable brand, especially if this is your first time. Okay, connecting devices to Wi-Fi. Most smart devices require a Wi-Fi connection to function properly. This setup usually involves using the manufacturer's app to connect the device to your home network. So you use the app, you download an app on your phone. Most are controlled by some sort of app. And what you do is you connect that smart device to the app, and then it's also connected to your Wi-Fi network. So the process includes following step-by-step instructions, often with helpful visuals. A stable internet connection ensures reliable performance on all smart devices. So make sure you have a good internet connection at home. Also make sure that you have the app installed on your phone, whatever phone you have. Make sure your phone is also compatible with the app. Some might be restricted to only iPhone or only Android, but generally speaking, pretty much everything should work, honestly, with your phone. Devices need Wi-Fi to work. Remember that. Use the brand setup app. Follow step-by-step instructions. Stable internet is essential, like I said. And this is where the asterisk comes, the caveat to buying off somewhere like Alibaba or AliExpress or Temu. You won't be 100% sure if the app's going to work well. Generally, more reliable companies will offer you good app support, good customer service, all of that. So even if you see the price is cheaper, usually the app won't work as well. You might see bugs, glitches, the app might be down. There's a lot of problems. So that's why, especially if you're a first-time buyer, I would just recommend going to Amazon, Best Buy, Target, whatever you trust, and then buying a good brand from there. Something with good reviews. So using manufacturer apps. Every smart device comes with its own app that helps users control and customize features. These apps allow you to name devices if you have multiple, assign them to specific rooms, create schedules, etc. Most apps have a pretty clean layout and simple buttons for easy navigation. Familiarity with one app often helps when using others. Generally, I would recommend going with a big brand if you're trying to buy a lot more smart devices. The worst thing that can happen is if you have 10 smart devices and all of them are controlled by different apps, that is not the ideal condition to be in. So I know we have like a top, we probably like talked about lock in. Once you like pick a brand, lock in, like they try to lock you in into that brand. Especially like with Apple, if you buy like AirPods, if you buy an iPhone, then they're probably also going to buy an Apple Watch or MacBook. So that is called lock-in. Here it's it kind of applies the same way where of course you would want to get something cheaper if it's from another brand and it still works the same way, still has the same support. But again, once you get something from a company, then it might be easier for you, more smooth if you get another product from that same company. So just remember that you don't want to have a ton of different apps on your phone. That is just hard to manage. So again, most apps have a clean layout, like I said, user friendly. You can also schedule actions and timers. And you can also categorize different smart home devices by rooms. So you can have basically a list of smart home devices. You can characterize all of them as living room, another set as dining room. So you can do all that. Depends on the number of devices you have. So different smart home options. Voice controlled smart homes. This is a very popular type of smart home. Works easily with your phone, and generally it's very easy, very simple to use. Some smart homes rely mostly on voice assistants for control. These systems respond to spoken commands and can manage multiple devices at once. Users can ask for the weather, play music, or activate a routine. This option is ideal for users who want convenience and hands-free control. So if you don't want to go to your phone and manually turn it on, I know that's still smart since you're controlling it with your phone, but voice commands are generally very easy. Depends on the assistant, how well it'll work. I do find that Google Assistant generally is considered to be the better assistant, but honestly, if you're using an iPhone, you don't really have much of an option. So just note that voice control is very popular. That's something that you should probably consider using. Also, app-based control systems is the other type. Some smart homes are managed through smartphone or tablet apps. These systems let users tap, swipe, and schedule actions without using voice commands. Depends on your preference. You can also do both. Like for example, I'm using smart bulb, the smart plug example that I was talking about earlier. I can go to the app and turn it on and off manually if I want to. I can also just ask Google Assistant, my assistant, to do it for me. So honestly, it depends on who you are, what you want to use it for. Many have the option to do both. Many apps also offer helpful walkthroughs and tips. So don't feel stressed out. I know it's a unique product. If you're building a smart home, it's something that you haven't done before, likely, but it is technically it's mostly like not that hard to build a smart home. And I'm saying this, I understand that like seniors might have some trouble understanding, but generally, like I believe in everyone. So yeah, I think it's pretty easy to do it. I think everyone can figure it out. So don't be afraid to set up a smart home if you want to. Just say. There's also hub-based smart homes. Hub systems connect multiple devices into one unified network. Examples include Samsung's SmartThings or Home Assistant. These hubs make it easier to control devices from different brands and offer more advanced automation options. Hubs are also a good choice for larger setups or those looking for more flexibility. So a hub system is basically what I was talking about, one app to rule them all, one app to manage all of your smart home devices. You can also use Google systems, Samsung systems. It's often controlled by the smartphone company. So for example, if you buy Google smart home devices, you have, let's see, smart speaker, Nest thermostat. You have light bulbs that are compatible with Google's ecosystem. You can have all of them on the Google Home app. So that's just what a hub is. Again, like I said, you can combine many devices, control different brands together, create automations, and it's best for expanding systems. I don't know how big this will apply to seniors, but generally, if you have a few smart home devices and you want to clump them together, then you would use a hub. So controlling and automating your smart home. Like we said, voice assistants like Alexa, Google Assistant, and Siri make it easy to control devices with spoken commands. Once the device is connected, users can say things like turn on the lights, set the thermostat to 72 degrees. Voice assistants can also control multiple devices at once. They also allow for hands-free access, which is useful in many situations. Basically, what I said in the last slide, voice assistants are very easy. They're one way to control your smart home. Useful for multitasking. Let's say you're walking up the stairs or something. You have something in your hand, you can't use your phone. You want the lights to turn on. Well, you can just say, hey, Alexa, turn on the lights. And I'm sorry if I triggered any of your Alexas. I forgot about that, but hopefully not. So anyway, voice assistance, very good. Creating routines. Okay, this is a big one. So I would recommend focusing on this. Smart routines allow multiple actions to be performed at once with a single command or trigger. For example, you say good night to your assistant, it could turn off all the lights across your home. It could also lower the temperature, do many things at once. Routines can be scheduled or activated by voice, and most smart home apps offer easy tools to build or manage routines. So an example that I'll give is my Google. I only have a Google smart speaker. That's the only smart device I have. But let's say I have the Nest thermostat, smart lights. I have much more. I can basically create a routine on my phone that links to all of those devices. So if I give a voice command, for example, good night, like it says here, it's going to turn off all of those devices or execute a command on those. So it's easier than manually doing it. I know it might seem a bit lazy, like you can just go into your app and then manually like turn off the lights or just go to the switch. But it is good, especially if you're like really tired. There's a lot of different purposes for creating routines. Maybe in the morning when you wake up, like I said, the smart blinds example, maybe it turns on the light, whatever. So anyway, there's a lot of different applications for routines. It honestly depends on what you want to do. And thanks for listening. If you'd like to learn this with a Cyber Seniors mentor, please go to cyberseniors.org or call this number here to register for a one-on-one phone session. We also host weekly tech drop-ins from 2 to 3 p.m. on Thursdays. And that's pretty much it.